What is up, YouTube? Back again with a review of a game. Actually, this game is Knack for PlayStation 4. In the background, you'll see me playing it. It's all recorded with the share feature on the PlayStation 4, which is pleasantly surprising. I expected a much lower quality, and it just works really well. So if you guys were wondering how that is, it's a really good feature. I'm glad they added it in there. The streaming is much better though, so I think if you were debating on streaming, definitely you can rely on the streaming from PlayStation 4 because it's very good. So this is going to be my review of Knack. This is the PlayStation launch exclusive. My overall impressions of this game are very, very good. I really enjoy this game. It's something that I've really been wanting to see in a game for a while now. Last generation, you didn't really see many 3D platformers or like action platformers. You just didn't see it. I mean, you had Ratchet and Clank, but they didn't sell that well. They weren't as good. I mean, they weren't as popular as they used to be, and they still aren't. But so to see it as a launch title, obviously many people are going to buy it since it had a very small selection of games. This has the potential to become a franchise. There's potential here. So first thing we'll get into is let's get into graphics, because that's something everybody wants to know about next gen is graphics. Well, the graphics in this game are very, very good. It's not next gen in the way of realism, by no means. It's not a very realistic looking game. It's more cartoonish. But the cartoon graphics are phenomenal. You can tell they're high res. They're very, very sharp. This video will not do any justice because you have to compress it through YouTube. But in person, it's very sharp. It's very well done. The particle effects are great. Explosions look very nice. You have a nice smoky effect rising from the fire afterwards, which is really, really cool. You might see some of that in a little bit. Just all the minute little details. Every time, I didn't notice this for a while, but whenever you take a hit and you lose some of your relics, wherever the enemy hit, you actually are missing the relics. It's not just like the same pattern over and over again. If you get hit in the arm, you're going to lose relics in your arm, which is crazy. I didn't even really think about that, but it's the little details that you don't really notice that make this graphics in this game what it is. It's just very, very well thought out. It reminds me of a Disney movie, kind of how the graphics are. But so let's get on to voice acting. Voice acting, I heard it was very, very cheesy and stuff, and I heard it wasn't very good. But quite honestly, I think they did a pretty darn good job on voice acting. All the voices seem to fit well with their characters, except Knack. I feel like Knack's voice doesn't fit his character all that well. It seems fine when he's like a normal size because his voice gets deeper as he gets bigger, but once he gets to his giant stage, it seems a little out of place. But you know, you get used to it and it kind of grows on you. But at first, it doesn't really seem fitting. But so the voice acting is pretty good. Obviously, it's not gonna have a very in-depth, very complicated storyline since this is marketed more towards younger audiences, but it's still a very good storyline for what it is, and for a launch game it's not obviously going to be up to par with games later on in the lineup. So let's get on to the meat and potatoes gameplay. How does this game play? Is it smooth? Is it everything? How does it control? Well, I can tell you right now, it controls really, really well. The controls are very precise. All the animations are extremely fluid. I've never had a moment where I said, "Wow, that was really cheap. I died because the mechanics of the game were flawed." I've actually not had that yet, and I am almost done with this game. I'm still haven't beat it yet, but I have yet to find a spot where I felt that the mechanics is what caused the death. Every time that I've died, it's been me not knowing an enemy, or me being too arrogant and going in too fast. So it's It plays very well. It has very simple controls. It's one button to hit. You have a button to jump, and you have a button for special powers. And that's pretty much it for the most part. There are minute other buttons that you do for a very short period of time, but the main 3 buttons is you got your attack, your jump, and then your special crystal powers. The crystal powers, there are 3 different crystal powers. You have like a smash explosion, which will create like a big bubble of explosion. You have a tornado, and then you have like these homing missile things. I find myself only ever using the tornado and the homing missiles because I find those to be the most useful. The smashing one, I find it too inaccurate, and sometimes it doesn't actually kill the enemy, which is something that can serve to be a problem if you're fighting somebody a little difficult. Speaking of difficulty, this game is a very, very difficult game. It's very trial and error. But on the plus side of the difficulty is it doesn't take you back to the beginning of a level. It doesn't take you back very far when you die. I would say when you end up fighting somebody, if you die, you get reset, but it's usually not very far. Maybe 30 seconds back is how far you'll end up spawning. So you can get back very quickly. Basically, the reason for doing this is so you can learn the strategy of defeating your enemies. But don't get me wrong, it's still a very difficult game. And I'm playing it on normal, and I'm having a little bit of a difficult time on some stages with some enemies. But for the most part, it's a great, great, fun game. I heard the easy mode is very, very catered towards younger audiences. So like if you don't want to sit and have to do trial and error and you just want to enjoy the game and have a lot of fun, you can try easy mode. It's supposed to be really, really good. Also, this game has a co-op feature. The co-op feature I have not yet had a chance to try because I only have one controller at the moment. But basically, the second player can jump in whenever they want, and they will play as Robo-Knack. Robo-Knack basically is the same thing as Knack, but when Robo-Knack dies, there is 0 penalty. They can just jump right back in after the enemy encounter that you're currently facing is over. So it's even less of a risk for the person playing player 2, which can actually make the game run much faster if you're playing with the second player, because you can have somebody go run in, distract them, deal some damage, and then have actual Knack run in and then finish them all off. So it can make it much easier if you have a second player. Okay, so we did graphics, we did voice acting, we did gameplay. What else is there? Did controls. Well, we can just do some other minute things. Oh yeah, there is like a hidden rewards kind of thing in this game where you'll find little tiny doors and walls that can be broken, and there'll be chests hidden around. Those chests, they can unlock multiple different kinds of things. You can unlock basically pretty much power upgrades. One of them, you can get an extra crystal shard that you can charge up, which is the one that I have completed right now. You can get crystals to unlock different variations or different costumes for Knack. There's Vampire Knack, there's Sunstone Knack, there's all sorts of cool little costumes. But what I'm finding, I'm pretty far into the game now, is in order to unlock those second costumes and stuff, you're gonna have to play the game more than once, because I've gotten a lot of the secret passages and stuff, and I'm not really even close to getting like Vampire Knack or Sunstone Knack. I'll have to play through it again to get those things. So I get it makes it much more replayable if you're one to go and get all the hidden things and get every trophy. You're gonna have to play through it multiple times. So there's that. Just there's not much in terms of customization. There's basically just what I mentioned, and that would pretty much be it. Let's go through level design. The level design is extremely well done. I love the levels. The thing I found about this game is almost every single level, it's something that you've never seen before. It's always a new experience when you're playing this game. All the levels are completely different. They've got a completely unique feel. And almost every level has very unique enemies that you'll only see in that level. So you're going to have to be learning enemies quite a lot, level to level. Which makes it a very fun game. It keeps everything fresh, even though the mechanics for the combat are kind of repetitive. You always are learning new enemies, and you have to learn new strategies in order to beat those enemies. So you have, there's all sorts of different levels. You have, there's city levels, there's this castle, there's jungles, there's like ruins, there's all sorts of cool different levels. They're all extremely well done. All of them have beautiful art, and honestly, this is like, the level design is one of the best features of this game. You have the secret passages can be really, really well hidden. Sometimes they're really obvious, and other times you'll just skip over them entirely and not even notice it until after you're gone, which has happened a couple times for me. Like I've watched some of my gameplay over again, and I've realized, oh, I missed a passage here, or I could have done this differently. So it lends itself to some replayability once you find passages that you may or may not have missed. Some of the things about this game that I don't really like is the fact that when you take damage, it's never a small amount of damage when you get hit. You get hit, it's devastating. Like, it takes maybe anywhere from a quarter to your entire health bar. There's been attacks that have taken my entire health bar out, which can be frustrating at times. This game can be quite frustrating, but it can also be extremely rewarding for the same matter. Like I said, it's a really difficult game, but the fact that you take so much damage all the time, like some of the attacks, you feel like you shouldn't be taking that much damage, but it just does a ton of damage. Almost every enemy is extremely, what's the word I'm looking for? They can do a lot of damage, and it's just, you got to be careful when you're playing. You can't just run in. You got to have a little bit of a strategy to it. I mean, that's at least on the higher 2 difficulty modes. Easy, I'm not sure. I've not tried that yet. But yeah, I can tell you right now, if you're looking for a good platforming experience, Knack is certainly one to check out. There's plenty of room for expansion upon this title as well. I can easily see this becoming some kind of franchise, perhaps. Like Knack could be the new mascot. It could be a new mascot, not the new mascot. But it definitely has potential to be a mascot character. And honestly, I've seen reviews where people either really love this game or really hate this game. The people that this game is aimed at is somebody who really grew up with platforming titles and really enjoys the fun, just pure entertainment and fun of a platforming title. If you like that kind of game, you will love Knack. It's such a great title for that type of game. If you're into like realism, shooters, multiplayer, all those kind of things, you're probably not gonna like this game. If you like both, then you win either way. So, if you just do not go in this game expecting the best graphics, the best voice acting. This is a platforming game. It's meant for entertainment and meant for fun. So, on a 5-star scale, I would probably give this a 4. This is a really fun, laid-back game. You can pick it up and play whenever. It's really well done for what it is. It hits what it's trying to be perfectly, and it can be very difficult. It can be easy. It's a game for anyone, really. Anyone can pick up this game and have a decent time with it. Now, whether you love the game or not, that remains to be seen, depending on your preferences. But for the most part, this is a pretty accessible game. That's my opinions on the game. Let me know what you guys think in the comment box below. If you have any suggestions for games I should review or pick up, let me know. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.